Good morning. My name is Kevin Burt. I work with the Department of Workforce Services Unemployment Insurance Division. And today I'm going to be reporting out on the unemployment insurance claims from August 30th through September 5th. I would like to start by talking about some of the numbers when it comes to the claims, but I do want to spend the majority of time talking about the Lost Wages Assistance Program because I do have some important news regarding that program. But let's go ahead and start. Again, this is August 30th through September 5th. And I want to start with initial or new claims. Last week we reported out that the initial or new claims, the people applying for unemployment assistance for the first time, dropped by 18%. This week, though, as compared to last week, it maintained relatively steady. It only dropped by less than 1%. For a total of 4,563 new claims for the week. And so that is still a considerable amount of application. It certainly is trending in a good direction. At the peak of this pandemic, we saw 33,000 applications in a week. So 4,500 is certainly much lower than we saw at the peak of this pandemic. But 4,500 people is still 4,500 people that are seeing disruption to their employment newly because they just applied for the benefit. And also for some historical context, in 2019, we averaged about 1,100. So 4,500 is still about 4 to 5 times more than the average number of new claims we took last week. And also, historically, the record number of claims that unemployment insurance took in a single week prior to the pandemic was around 5,000. So even though it certainly is trending in a good direction and that it is significantly lower than it was in early April, it still continues to be incredibly high. There are a lot of people that continue to apply for the unemployment benefit, and we're starting to see that will continue and will likely continue for the rest of the year. Continued claims. Continued claims is another one that we talk about every week. Continued claims is a great indicator of how many people are continuing to need the benefit. Remember, unemployment insurance has an initial claim, and then every week a person has to attest to their current situation, reporting, did they work, did they look for work, what wages did they earn in their 4 job contacts. So it is a good indication of how many people are continuing to ask for the benefit, meaning they've already applied, but they continue to ask for it. We ended the week at 54,661. Now, there is an important thing that I need to add regarding this. We did make some revisions to the briefing and to the data. We introduced, or the CARES Act introduced, an extended benefit, a 13-week federally funded extended benefit for those that exhaust their rights to the traditional state benefit. We have always been reporting the number of applications for the extended benefit, but because of the program's growth, we think it's also important to start adding the continued claims for the extended benefit in our number as well. So that 54,661 includes those that are on the state benefit, those that are receiving the pandemic unemployment assistance, which is those that are on the self-employed or gig workers, and those that are on the extended benefit. And so it includes all types. And again, for the week ending September 5th, the number was 54,661. During the peak of continued claims in this pandemic, it was early May, and that was about 127,000 individuals that filed a continued claim for the benefit. So 54,661 is certainly significantly less. In fact, that number has gone down now for 18 consecutive weeks. And we saw it actually go down across all programs. The traditional or state benefit went down this week as opposed to last week by 12.711%. The pandemic unemployment assistance, which is the unemployment for the gig or self-employed, went down by 10.4%. The extended benefit, which is the benefit for those that have exhausted their state benefit and have transitioned into the extended benefit, also went down by 7.711%. And it is about 8,500 people that are on the extended benefit. Overall, continued claims went down 12%. So all of those are incredibly positive numbers when it comes to the unemployment benefit or the continued claim trend. But it is also important to have historical context. 54,000 people requesting the benefit is still 6 times higher than what we experienced in 2019. In 2019, the average number of people that were asking for the continued claim was around 9,000. So it is clear that this pandemic, while we are seeing some economic activity return, we are seeing some jobs return and people return to work, there are still a significant amount of Utahns that are seeing disruption to their employment and are continuing to need the unemployment benefit. And we will continue to meet that need as those that apply and continue to ask for it will continue to process that. We have paid out thus far since March 15th, $1.4 billion in unemployment benefits. That is more benefits that have gone out this last 6 months than in the previous 7 years. Also, we are nearing 300,000 applications for unemployment insurance since March 15th. So in the last 6 months, we've actually received nearly 5 years worth of claims for the unemployment benefit. There's certainly been unprecedented, but we are proud of the staff and all the hard work that they have done to make sure that those that are eligible receive the benefit and have been able to support with $1.4 billion in payments going out. That being said, we also want to shift to the lost wages assistance because we have some great news about the lost wages assistance. So let me remind individuals what the lost wages assistance program is. Early on in the pandemic, the CARES Act was introduced. And what it was intended to do is provide some supplements to the unemployment insurance program. Unemployment insurance program has never been intended to be a full replacement wage. In fact, it's about a 40 to 50% replacement wage historically. At the early stages of this pandemic, individuals were asked to stay home and were furloughed. And so the employer had full intention of bringing them back. And that's when we saw that 19,000, 25,000, 33,000 applications in back-to-back weeks that we had never seen before. And many individuals were asked to stay home, but they had the full intention of returning to work. So they wanted to return to their employer, but they were not able to go out and work for that employer. And so the CARES Act introduced a stimulus payment of $600. What that was intending to do is replace the lost wages, because unemployment replaced it at a 40%. It was intending to get to a full replacement wage. That $600 stimulus benefit expired on July 25th, 2020 for those that were on the unemployment benefit. Now, negotiations continue. That was a fully federally funded stimulus benefit. And Congress continues to negotiate future stimulus bills, but has yet to pass one since the expiration date of July 25th. And so as a result, in mid-August, President Trump introduced some memorandums. One of the memorandums had a significant impact on the unemployment insurance division and those that were on unemployment by introducing the Lost Wages Assistance Program. The Lost Wages Assistance Program provides a weekly stimulus to those eligible of $300 a week. Utah was one of the first states to apply for that benefit and be approved for that benefit, and we are proud to announce today that Utah is also one of the early ones that has successfully been able to start to pay the Lost Wages Assistance. Payments began last night, and they are payments of $300 a week for 3 weeks. And so those are for individuals that received unemployment benefits from July 26th through August 15th. That's a total of 3 weeks. And so up to $900 for those that are eligible. Now, it is important to understand that the Lost Wages Assistance is different eligibility criteria than the $600 stimulus. The $600 stimulus was eligible to anyone that received at least $1 of benefit. Lost Wages Assistance is restricted in who is eligible for it. So not everyone will be eligible for the Lost Wages Assistance. The individuals who are eligible for it are individuals that received an unemployment benefit from the time period of July 26th through August 15th. They have to have received an unemployment benefit, and they have to have been eligible for at least $100 in an unemployment benefit. So if you initially applied and we did a monetary calculation and you are eligible for less than $100 a week, unfortunately, due to the restrictions on the Lost Wages Assistance Program, you are not eligible for the $300 a week. Now, in our estimates, about 95% of people who are on unemployment benefits are eligible for more than $100. So the grand majority of individuals that receive the benefit from July 26th through August 15th will be eligible for that $300. The other thing that is an eligibility factor is you have to have been determined to be unemployed as a direct result of the pandemic. At the initial application, you were asked, or individuals that filed a claim were asked, did you lose a job because of this pandemic? And if the answer is yes, that is the attestation that we are using to look at the eligibility. We have started processing the payment for those 3 weeks as of yesterday. We believe that we will get to the majority of them by Friday, but all those that are eligible will receive it by next Monday. Now, lost wages assistance is actually available to states for a total of 6 weeks. And so what I just discussed, the initial 3 weeks that we have received payment for. Utah has also requested an additional 3 weeks of lost wages assistance. It has been approved for 2 of those, but is pending approval for the 3rd. Once we receive that approval for the 3rd week, we intend next Wednesday to issue the next 3 weeks of payment. And so that again that'll process next week and will take about another 2 or 3 days to process. So in total, the total number of weeks will be 6 weeks, and it will be for individuals, a supplement to individuals who received an unemployment benefit from July 26th through September 5th. Now, we have updated our FAQs on jobs.utah.gov/COVID-19 to provide all of these details about the lost wages assistance. Remember, it is limited to 6 weeks. The memorandum created a pot of money that was available to states, and the state of Utah, as well as every other state, cannot request more than 6 weeks. So we are incredibly proud that we're able to get this out to individuals that are certainly in economic need, a total of 6 weeks of $300 a week. However, after those distributions are paid out, there is no longer any more benefit available for the lost wages assistance. So they will all be paid primarily retroactively, and they are limited to a 6-week time period. It is incredibly important to know that the staff that put this program together did an excellent job and actually fully integrated it into the system. And what that means is individuals do not need to apply separately. Anyone that received a payment, an unemployment benefit from July 26th through September 5th will automatically be considered for all 6 weeks of LWA without the need to apply and without the need to call and request the benefit. Everyone will be considered for the benefit, and how you will receive it is the same way you receive your unemployment benefit today. So if you get a direct deposit, if you get it on a card, or if you get a check, which is the process we use for the pandemic unemployment assistance, you will receive it in the same manner that you receive your unemployment benefit today. And so we are proud to announce that. I don't want to do too much of a grandstanding, and I don't want to be too much of a, but I do have to say I'm very proud of the staff and what they've been able to do. We just talked about that we received nearly 5 years of work in 6 months. The lost wages assistance is now the 8th federal program that we have stood up to make available to Utahns over the last 6 months. We've tried to make it as seamless as possible so that people who apply for the benefit are just eligible for the benefits, and we've been able to introduce that fairly seamlessly so that individuals that were eligible for the $600 just received it with their traditional claim, and the lost wages assistance is the same. A lot of work went into this to make sure that it was paid out accurately, that made sure that we followed the program because it was certainly new. Again, I don't want to be too much of a sappy Sarah, but the staff have done an excellent job. They've been asked to do a lot of work, and we're very happy that we're able to provide this much-needed economic relief to those that continue to see disruption to their employment with these unemployment benefits. And with that, we'll go ahead and see if there are any questions. Okay, so the question is, what if I have a pending application? What if I've applied for unemployment benefits, but I haven't been approved or denied yet, and I don't know what I'm going to be eligible for or how much? And so, as I mentioned, there's not a need to apply for the benefit. Anyone that received a benefit from July 26th through September 5th will automatically be considered for up to 6 weeks of this $300 a week stimulus payment. For those that have an application during that time period and are later approved for the benefit, they will also automatically be considered for the $300 a week stimulus benefit. So if an individual has applied during that time period, is pending a decision, is later approved for the unemployment benefits and meets all other eligibility criteria, that they were eligible for at least $100 a week and that they are unemployed as a direct result of the pandemic, they will automatically be looked at for these $300 a week stimulus benefits. So there is not a need for individuals to call or apply that have received it. There's also not a need for individuals to call or apply for those that are pending. Because it is fully integrated, and the staff did such an excellent job integrating into the system, they will automatically be considered for the payment without additional work. The decision on your unemployment benefits will be used to also determine eligibility for the lost wages assistance. So the question is, what about individuals that are still struggling to get through to call the employment center or call the unemployment insurance office and ask questions about their claim? One of the things I mentioned is that we just added the lost wages assistance updated FAQ. A lot of the questions that individuals have about the unemployment insurance division are available in those FAQs. They are built around the most common questions that we receive by chat and also receive by phone. And so a great resource is jobs.utah.gov/COVID-19 to be able to get answers to your questions. Now, it's also important to remember, and we talked about this early on in this pandemic, the same individuals that are answering your calls and being able to provide clarification that you're seeking or answer the questions you have are the exact same individuals that are processing the claim. And so we're trying to strike a balance of trying to meet some of the questions of the public without delaying the processing of the benefits. If in the end we shift individuals to answering the phone calls, what it will result in is a delay in the processing of benefits. Now, we understand both are important, that individuals have questions and they also need the benefit, but we have focused on the processing of those benefits in an accurate and timely manner as much as possible, but we're trying to find that balance. Another thing that I would advise is that unemployment insurance is different than other programs. If we have a question about your claim, we will contact you. There's not a need to contact us. And again, with the $300, you will automatically be considered for that benefit. A lot of times, unfortunately, when we make these announcements, a lot of people call in asking about the benefit that is available on the FAQs, the answers, and also delaying the processing of the benefits. If we have a question, we will contact you. We will continue to focus on the processing of the benefits to make sure those that are eligible receive it during this critical time when they have seen disruption to their employment. And we will continue to do that. So please check the FAQs and understand that we will contact you if there are any questions regarding your claim. Okay, and with that, we'll go ahead and end today's briefing. Thank you.